Levels may be produced in any level of software. So, let's say that your experience with level design begins and ends with Little Big Planets level creator. That's cool. That's fine. In fact, the second place team from last year made their level in Little Big Planet. Yeah. It was very fun. It was a really fun level. There were a lot of rockets. It was cool.
Rocket Cheetah.
Yes, Rocket Cheetah always makes an appearance in Little Big Planet.
What is that? We get to Halo Reach.
Yeah, you could do Halo Reach. That's perfectly acceptable as well. You could use the Neverwinter Nights level creator if you were so inclined. So, let's say you have tons of experience doing this crap, right? You can hard code something if you'd like, if you want to put in that amount of effort. I hard coded my project last year in Inform 7, which is a text-based game language. If you're familiar with Lua, or I don't know, maybe you want to mess with the Unreal script for a game or something and change the way the game works. That's
C#,
cool.
all works. We have classes on C#. It's going on
Yeah.
actually too.
All hard coding is fine. I mean, it's a lot of work if you're building something from scratch, obviously, but it's whatever you want to do to make this level design contest challenging and interesting to you. Yes.
So say we have something that we began a while ago but never finished, and we might want to continue with that for this. Could we do that, or does it have to be brand new for the project?
We'll have to talk about it, Randy.
Okay.
God damn it, Randy.
Yes,
Whoa.
Zach.
The bomb over there.
A bad
Must
person.
have fit the theme.
Huh?
It must fit the theme.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, I know, but for what he just said.
Oh yeah, that's true. The level must fit the theme. So we'll talk about the theme in a minute.
Where'd you come from, Zach?
The levels must fit.
Phantom
The
of the
levels
Opera.
must fit the DDG code of conduct. That is to say, nothing racist, nothing sexist, nothing ethnically derogatory. Just don't be a dick. That's really what it is.
It's
Don't
not
be a dick.
easy.
Be cool. Really. I mean, I have to say that. Nobody's ever done anything like that before, but I want to get out ahead of it because I don't want to deal with that. So don't do it. And the levels must, I know, right? That sucks. Levels must fit the theme. So let's talk about what defines a level anyway. An expected unit of gameplay given the mechanics of a game. So if you're working with some sort of top-down RPG like Neverwinter Nights or I guess Diablo, I don't know, I haven't played that. A top-down RPG, an expected unit of gameplay would be a dungeon. If you're working in Halo Reach, an expected unit of gameplay would be one multiplayer map. If you're working a Little Big Planet or any 2D platformer, one obstacle course level would be a unit of gameplay given the game mechanics. It's a pretty broad definition because a level as an idea is a pretty broad idea. So whatever you think is appropriate, just run it by us and we'd be happy to field ideas. Yes.
What about making a Minecraft adventure map?
Cool. We had somebody do that last year. Absolutely, if you would like to do that. Yes.
So like, these modding things, like I know Civilization 5 and Skyrim and stuff, so like if I did something for like Civilization 5,
I don't, it depends upon your definition of modding. I want you to make one unit of the game. So making a challenge map of Civ 5 or like a scenario for Civ 5, and maybe with some light modding to make it different than the other challenge maps that they offer, that would be acceptable. You would have to run it by me.
I'm just using that.
Yeah. If modding is the main thing you want to do, just make sure to run it by us to make sure that's okay. Yes.
I'm making a Minecraft adventure map.
That's cool, and that's what he just said. It's cool, but yeah, Minecraft adventure maps, we had somebody do one of those last year. It's perfectly acceptable. Do it. Awesome. Any other questions? All right, let's move on. So, what is the theme?
Food?
Cooking Mama!
It is food.
Look at that. Sure.
I know what you're saying. Guys, I know what you're saying. Food? Really, Chris? You're a jerk. But I love food. Also, we like to keep these level design contest themes pretty generic. it's just a thing to make sure that you didn't work on the project before the actual theme was released and the rules were released. So food. Any way that you can apply that food theme is probably fine by us. Are you the food as the character being eaten by something? That's fine because it's still food. It's cool. You're going to make a platformer level that's made entirely of food. That's a more literal use of it. If you're worried, just ask us. But in all likelihood, any interpretation of that theme, the word food, will be fine.
Not actually the word, though.
Not actually
Oh,
the
I was
word.
about to say.
So there will be 2 judges. One UB faculty member. I think we're trying to get Sujan to come in and do it because he's brand new. We want to make him feel welcome. So probably Sujan. And 1 industry professional to be revealed later.
Ooh.
Yeah. Last year we had Todd Broadwater, affectionately called TV by like 1 or 2 people in the world incessantly. Todd Broadwater, who was the senior level designer for the XCOM team at Firaxis Games up in Sparks. So we're gonna bring in somebody cool. Probably not Todd. He's cool, but
Can he
You
just
know.
come anyway?
he can come sometimes. But it's not gonna be Tim Schafer. I'll tell you that right now.
He's got that $1 million still.
It's not gonna be Reggie. Did you say Reggie Phillips and me?
I don't think our body is ready.
Just throw him sharp numbers. Just put him on the stage.
Anthony Birch.
But they're going to judge the levels on 3 credentials, on complexity of production, creative application of gameplay, and fun, which is kind of boring out of the first 2.
Who cares about fun fact?
And who cares how fun your level is? Didn't Black and White, the game, teach us that fun doesn't matter when you're playing a video game?
Shots fired.
And the judges will take and provide constructive notes for each level. So constructive feedback to you.
Yay.
Yay!
Yay.
Cool. So let the games begin.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, so
Is there anything else where we get to create a game?
we're gonna, what?
Is there any other form of way we can make a game?
On our own.
Maybe a year-long contest?
Hey, Tony's got a great idea over there. Tony, what's your idea?
I don't know, but I want to like have maybe a seminar in Baltimore,
Of some sort? That's interesting.
and it has to do with indie games.
I'm just gonna pass around this
isn't
this official list of rules for the level design contest really quick.
What size would it be?
I don't
Yes, 2
know.
pages. Sorry.
It's gotta involve the whole school, though.
It's gonna be in the business center somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
are there any questions about the level design contest? We're passing around the official rules right now, and we'd be happy to answer any questions later. But you know, if you have any burning questions right now, I'd be happy to answer it. I like to talk. All right,
You
that's
already know
cool.
my burning question.
I know what you're thinking. Yawning. You're done with this. This presentation. No, it's cool. I know. But this presentation's over, right? Not. Indie Game Contest 2014.
Yeah!
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention what you were actually competing for in the last one.
Yeah,
You are
no, I-
competing for a prize. You're competing for lunch with that industry professional that we have come in and judge the contest. Talk shop, you know, I don't know. Talk to him, make a new friend, get connected, maybe get you a job. You never know. Crazy things happen. We're currently confirming him right now, but I don't want to drop a name and then not deliver on it. But yeah, it is not Tim. You can just get rid of
Hey,
that
can we
idea
get-
right now. It is not
Oh,
Tim Schafer,
Yeah.
Chief
'Cause it'll be hard for us
Operations
to pass.
Officer and lead producer for Double Fine Games. No, it is not Tim Schafer. They're in Seattle.
Is it Peter Molyneux?
It's not Peter Molyneux.
You said you'd call him.
All right. Seriously though. Yeah, I know, right? And we may or may not also give you a big bucket of Legos. Because Legos are cool, and it's like the original level design kit.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, you can.
you want Legos instead of lunch? If we can only give you one or the other, and you'd rather have Legos than lunch, I will buy you the same amount of Legos as we would have spent on lunch. Yes.
It's like more.
You need more? Oh no! Okay. I I don't have any more.
Here, if somebody wants,
But if,
I'll give mine up.
He's definitely not interested. If you could pass it around.
Does somebody want it?
Otherwise, I'll come and just give me your name and I'll email it to you.
So we're a team, all of us, a team are going, right?
Yes, everybody on the team will go. That's why I'm leery about the big bucket of Legos thing. How are we going to buy 3 big buckets of Legos? That's what I'm worried about. Anyway, we'll come to that bridge later. So, no questions about the level design contest. Brian Booker, here, you have a question?
Can we make a level of Legos with Legos?
We can talk about it. I'd like to see a level made of Legos. Just a personal sort of thing. Yeah, Tim. You're really pushing it, but if there is a gameplay mechanic attached to it, I'm willing to hear you out.
As long as it doesn't rot before you present it.
You know, if you guys want to get creative and actually like make levels out of Subway sandwiches, I'm willing to listen. I'm up for it. But you know, it's gotta be a game. It can't just be a stack of sandwiches.
We're gonna play Jenga
It's like a
with
Jenga game.
Here's the game. Watch me eat something.
I had another question. Was there another question? Yes.
How do we handle like games with that might be uncommon and have a high barrier to entry, like say you make StarCraft 2 match or something like that?
If the judges can't play the game that you present to them, which did happen at the indie game contest with Chroma, we had a couple people that were just really bad at platformers trying to play the games.
Yeah, they were.
Then we might be able to arrange some sort of demonstration that you can do for them. But I think between Sujan and the professional game developer we get in here, it'll be okay.
So maybe we just do something sort of
If you want to make it, I don't think StarCraft 2 is that uncommon, but pick something you're comfortable with. Worry about who's going to play it later. This is the one for worrying about who's going to play it. Yes?
My question is, what should the average like playthrough time for the map be?
It does not matter. It just has to be a unit of gameplay that is appropriate for the gameplay mechanics. So one level of Little Big Planet, the Little Big Planet level from last year, it was kind of lengthened because a lot of people were dying a lot. But how long did it take you to run through it? Like 5 minutes, maybe that?
How long did it
It's
take
cool.
when I played?
Whatever is appropriate for the mechanics that you're working with. Okay? So whatever's appropriate. And if you're really worried that it's not going to be okay, just ask us. Any other questions? Hey, Gene, you got a question? No? Okay. That's cool. It's nice to see you, though. I really missed you over the summer.
Thanks, Chris.
Not you, Tyler. See you, Tyler. See you at home. All right, so what if you are absolutely ready to get crazy and make a game? Awesome. That's great, because unlike in previous years, the indie game contest for this 2013-2014 school year opens today. Not in a month, not when we finalize the rules. The rules are already done. It opens today.
Oh, it's so aggravating.
And I'm here to tell you about it. So it's a high-stakes, year-long, and also high-fun contest. It is fun. Team rules. Teams of 1 to 5 participants. So larger teams are allowed for this. All members must be students. Note, there is no team requirement for everyone to be from UB, because we are going to be inviting other campuses to participate with us. Cool? Participants may only compete on one team. Tony.
You're just crushing my dreams, man.
Teams must RSVP by February 28th, 2014. So,
You got a hot second.
you got a little while. You got a little while. And after you register your team, you can change it up until April 1st, 2014.
Like drop people.
You can add or drop people up to the 5 people limit up until April 1st, 2014.
Would you drop someone?
You can add people up until April 1st, 2014. I don't care if it's the day before, but
Like
yeah.
We're not gonna try and drop
someone we
April
had
1st.
to-
You're gonna tell us April Fools.
Yeah, don't tell me April Fools. And you can drop people up until the day before the contest.
Just saying, because that'll happen.
Yeah, I know it's happened. It's happened plenty of times. So, teams must be registered by the 28th of February. Teams may add new people to their team, up to 5 people, until April 1st, and then they have until the day before the showcase to drop people. Yes, Randy?
I know it's a bit unfeasible since it's so big, but if we wanted to and we had the time, we could do it as one person. Could
Oh
we?
yeah, absolutely. We've had people do one-person projects. We've had a couple. And during the judging, it'll be taken into account how many people worked on the game.
Okay.
So, so if you want to work by yourself, by all means.
Didn't like the first one, wasn't there one that won actually, or
I
am I
don't
getting
think
that
any
confused?
individual has won.
Oh.
There
No,
was
no individual
August's
has
team.
So is it time to start?
There was August's team the first year, and that had 4 people on it. There was Task Force
68.
68.
Task Force 68 back in 2 years ago.
That's 5 people.
And they had, how many people did you have? 4? You had 4, right?
5. You're forgetting
I thought you dropped
James.
Okay.
Charlotte.
And then last year we had a team of, was it 4 or 5? 4. 4 people. So,
It should be pointed out that 2 of the 3 years freshmen have won.
oh yeah, 2 out
So-
of 3 years, freshmen.
Oh, that's
Last
what-
year,
maybe
the year
that's what I was
before,
thinking.
freshman teams had won both years. So, do not
You
be
can do it.
dissuaded from participating if you're a freshman. It's always a great time to learn a new skill. Yes, Randy?
Do you know what the it's kind of vague, but the average complexity of the games given are? Or?
Okay, we'll get to that in a moment.
Okay.
Yes?
Do you have to wait till you register to start making it?
Yes. You have to have a team registered. Yes, Albert? Yes, it has. And we'll be getting there in a moment.
Put your hand down. One other thing.
Yeah, you can register tonight. That's cool. After this meeting. All right. Are there any other questions about team rules? So, the game rules. Teams may not begin until registered. Entires, entries may be analog or digital. Last year, one of the finalists for the indie game contest was an analog game, the second place prize. Or the second place team was an analog game. It was good. It was a really great game. You'll still be judged on most of the same areas, but you know, if you feel like you could turn in a better analog game than a digital game, by all means, make an analog game. It brings with it a different set of challenges than if you were to do it on your own, or than if you were to do a digital game. All assets must be original, but mods are acceptable entries. Notice there's an asterisk next to that. The mod must fundamentally change the experience of playing the game. So, you know, you can take on a mod, but it needs to be different than the original game that it was, you know, derived from. And that will be up to the judge's discretion at the contest.
So,
Yes, Randy.
so would you think like as an example, like I was thinking about maybe using like the Warcraft 3 map editor and making like, so like would an example of being different be turning it from an RTS into like say like a tower defense or
Yeah.
stuff like that? That would be an
Something that
active
fundamentally
changing.
changes the experience of playing the game.
Yeah.
And that will be up to the judge's discretion. You can always ask us in advance, like Randy just did, or you know, if you have a specific idea, we'd be happy to field it and let you know if that's sufficient for this contest. The games must fit the DDG code of conduct. Nothing sexist, nothing racist, nothing blah, 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 blah. Don't be a jerk. Are there more requirements? Yes. The game must provide 10 minutes of original gameplay. So the complexity of that gameplay is open, doesn't matter. As long as you provide 10 minutes of gameplay in your game. Like Chroma last year, it was a platformer. It was a platform, it was a 2D platform, and it had a pretty interesting like button mechanic, but it didn't do anything too complex. You know, it was a platform. Meanwhile, what was it called? Cube Quest, the second place entry, it was that analog game, and it involved cubes stacking on top of cubes, and it was like a
It
really...
was a board game.
It was a board game.
We made a board game, constructed it out of like wooden cubes and this like cube board, and it was all about, and we had like pathways and stuff, and It was probably the most unique game there.
Ooh.
Whoa. Okay.
You know,
Boastful.
but you know, we run the gamut of complexity here. So it can be as complex or as simple as you want it to be, as long as there is 10 minutes worth of game there and it's fun. There we go. So, what is the theme? That'd be great. I know you've been dying to see this. Oh no, what happened?
Oh my gosh.
No!
Divide by 0.
Perfect.
Hold on. Sorry.
Theme is nothing.
The spirit-
God!
This is gonna be good.
the spirit
killing me.
of adventure.
Yes!
Oh,
Yes!
idea.
Yes!
I got some research to do.
Parentheses is just saying, you know what time it is. It's adventure time. So, come on.
I got some research.
So, spirit of adventure. Woo! Yeah.
Thought of that.
Tony, you look like you're convulsing.
I'm so happy right now.
I just want to die.
Some of you
I'll have
been in
to see.
previous indie game contests.
I'm
might
already
think
on a
that's
team with
little
you.
simple.
But we're making a real game. Think about it.
But we have one last trick up our sleeve. Instead of only as compared to level design contests, most of our indie game contests have been judged by a panel of 5 industry professionals and academics, usually 1 or 2 teachers from campus and 3 to 4 industry professionals. Like last year, we had Todd Broadwater come in. Anastasia Salter, in case you haven't had her, she's a full-time instructor on campus. She was a judge. We had this guy named Dave Chalker, a UB alumni who makes tabletop board games now, or not tabletop board games, tabletop role-playing games. He was part of the Marvel tabletop RPG team, and he's one of the lead designers on the Firefly RPG now. We had people like that come in, and it was cool. This is a really cool event, guys. You're going to meet a lot of people. It's fun. But it's not just going to be 5 people this year. In fact, it's not going to be 5 game designers. It's going to be 10 people total, and 5 of them will be children.
Oh.
Ooh.
So,
That
the objective of the game, the objective of the contest is make a game that appeals to both the game designer adults and 5 children aged 5 to 9 years old.
AKA while you're having that children's game design panel.
Yeah, that's why we're having the panel on creating content for children. That's why Gray's going to come in and talk about his research.
Okay.
So you guys got, yeah, Greg Walsh, not Greg Thorpe. Although, no offense to Greg. Greg Walsh is going to come and talk about design gaming children. Guys, this has been killing me all summer.
I know.
I had this idea the day after last year's VIX, which is April like 30th.
Yeah,
I'm
because
so
Todd
excited.
Broadwater brought
It's
his
gonna be
kid.
great. Huh?
Todd Broadwater brought his kid. He's like, no, it's a great idea.
You know, it's a great idea. No, I won't tell you. That was good. So yeah, 5 adults, professional game developers, and 5 children aged 5 to 9. Some may be the children of the game designers, some may not, depending on what game designers we get to come in.
We're gonna pull random children off the street.
yeah.
One of those adults will be Greg Walsh. Yep, he's a good guy. You're gonna like him.
Good guy.
And one of those children will be Greg Walsh's currently 4-year-old crazy daughter. Crazy daughter. She's so much fun, and she's tiny and she's scary. So this is gonna be fun, and I can't wait to see what you guys make for this contest. So when you think about your level of complexity, to go back to that question, remember, you're going to have 5 to 9-year-olds playing this game. So I know that I was playing like Star Wars pod racing on the N64 when I was 6, but not everyone does. So
I did.
yeah. So to expand on the judging a little bit, the adult judges will be looking at these 4 areas for your game. Technical competency, so for digital games, that means is there any bugginess to the game? Is the program running smoothly? And for analog games, is the design stable and are the rules that you provide them clear? The aesthetic quality of the game, the audio-visual presentation. The gameplay design, so the achievement of meaningful play. And I know some of you are freshmen, you might not be familiar with that term, meaningful play, but you will be in the near future. So, but meaningful play, good game design. And finally, content quality and innovation. So they're looking to see how creative of a game design you came up with, and to make sure that you reached the minimum amount of content. And then the children will be judging the games on the basis of their accessibility, offering of interesting content, and engaging gameplay mechanics, or, as children will probably call it, how fun they are. So, yeah. That'll be cool, right?
Yeah.
You guys are excited about this, right?
Super duper.
I'm about to go start making
You'll
this
find
game.
out more about these rules in here. There are some specific logistics, but this is the main thrust of it right here. Let the games begin.
It's only funny the first time. 10 points for trying.
Yeah.
Can I tell them the other confirmed judge?
Okay, you can tell them the other confirmed judge. I guess that's okay.
You told them at the table.
No, it's Ricky Bryan Jr., probably I've heard before, but he was a key animator on Skullgirls, and he's currently working at Lab Zero Games. So, you might want to put your best foot forward there. Just saying.
Dude, what? I want to meet him.
So,
I love Skullgirls.
Do you?
I
one
love
last
it.
thing. Okay, so I have two more things on this list of. Oh, you know what I'm supposed to hand these out? My bad, guys.
You only like it.
Once again, go ahead and take one piece. They are 2 pages long. If you already know you're going to be working with somebody, only take one for you and your group. Yes? Guys? I'm sorry, what was your question? What's the word on engines and stuff like that? What's the word on engines? So,
You can do whatever you want.
yeah, we're pretty open to doing whatever you want. You can hard code something, or if you, like last year's winning game entry was made in Stencil, which is a streamlined Flash platform. Yeah, made in Stencil. The streamlined Flash platform. So, Game Maker is fine. It doesn't matter, because what's really important is going to be the bugginess, and that's going to be something that comes in with your hard coding or using an engine, and the design of the game, which is going to be something that an engine can't just give you. So whatever you want to work in is fine by me. Yes?
Surprise.
Oh, yeah!
Both times.
Okay, so we should talk. Right? I'm just miserable. So last year and in years previous, we've offered a kind of workaround of the fact that we cannot provide a cash prize to the state because of state regulations. You can't just give money to people. I know, right? So we've been buying people, the teams, $1,000 worth of Amazon stuff to split between them. We're not going to do that this year because it's a big pain in the butt, and we keep getting audited by the state. I mean, it's perfectly legitimate, but it's a pain in the butt. So what we're going to do, and this is the first partnership that we're going to announce for our 2 marquee events for the year, we're going to work with the International Game Developers Association, the IGDA, and they are going to coordinate a cash prize for our winners. A cash prize. So, how are these cash prizes being doled out? The way it works, and you can read about this in your copy of the form, is that there are 2 tiers of prizes. A set for analog games and a set for digital games. Each has a first, second, and third place prize, 750, 500, 250. Okay? Cool? That is not set in stone. It is not set in stone because we may get more sponsors than we're anticipating. We may get less sponsors than we're anticipating. But that is the ideal that we're looking for right now. It also may change at the event. Even if we make enough money to cover all those cash prizes, it is up to the judge's final discretion how to allocate those funds. So, let's say only 3 analog games are submitted to the contest. Are the judges obligated to give every single one of those games a cash prize, even if one of those games just totally is just Monopoly with some stuff pasted in there? No, they are not. The judges have the final discretion in adjusting the prize money. So they can take that $250 that was for the 3rd place prize and adjust it for the 1st and 2nd place prize. Not to sound overly negative, but we also have a positive way of looking at this. if somebody shows up with something crazy amazing, like if you show up at Portal, or something that absolutely blows everything out of the water, and everyone's just like, why do we even come? I don't even know. Why do we even come to this thing? The judges have the option of combining the two first place prizes into a grand prize of $1,500. So it's not just good enough to be better than the guy behind you now. You have to be as good as you can possibly be if you want to get that big cash prize. Okay? All right. Prizes. Awesome. This is what we live for, right? Competition. Blah, blah, blah. Having fun. Stuff like that. Are there any other questions about the cash prizes or about the indie game contest? No? No? Guys? No questions? Okay. Thank you. All right. There are two more things I'm supposed to talk about tonight. One of them is supposed to be the DDG website. Unfortunately, I used up all of my computer battery showing a game at the Student Life Expo this week.